So, I wanted to do something a little bit different this time. I have gotten the question a few times if I was going to review any of the older Dean of Doom episodes, or rather react to them. And I've always been interested, I just didn't know how I wanted to go about it. Initially, I turned the idea down because their episodes I've already seen, so they wouldn't be blind reactions. But I guess they don't necessarily need to be blind reactions. I can kind of come back to them if it's a WOD I haven't played before, but now have. And in this case, I'm doing this with Alien Vendetta, because I finished this just recently. Today, Demonic Hordes just went live. It's the 11th. I think the 10th is when I recorded Point Dreadful. So I wanted to revisit this video. I haven't seen this video in a good long while, like maybe 6 or so months. A long time frame. I don't know the exact amount. And I don't really remember a lot of what he said about any of the maps. So I thought it'd be fun, as my new favorite Megawad, to kind of take a look at this. This is going to replace the video for today. Today would have been 2002 A Doom Odyssey. I'm going to move that to tomorrow. I wanted to just kind of have this take the slot for today, because I love this WOD. This is my favorite Megawad now. This, as far as a Megawad goes, this is dethroned Eternal Doom. That's my favorite. Alright. Mount Payne has given me consent to make this video. If somehow by this point you haven't seen the original, turn this off. Go to his channel. Go give him your first view. Come back. We'll watch this together. When did this come out? September 3rd, 2020. We were all a little bit younger in 2020, I think. We were all different in 2020. I got hiccups. Alright. Let's fire it up.
Hello there. I'm Mount Payne 27, and
What's
this is Dean of Doom, the show where we
Old
compare
intro, man.
classic and contemporary Doom WODs. Why? Because ranking things is fun.
Sure it is.
Today's episode will be dedicated to Alien Vendetta, one of the most influential
You still sound like a surfer guy in this video.
community-made megawads ever. It was released in 2001, but we're going to be reviewing the 2002 release that was approved for compet-end speedrunning, and we'll be ignoring the 2016 Black Label version for expediency's sake. We've got a lot of ground to cover with this one, so I'll limit my opening comments to this. Alien Vendetta was one of the main reasons why I started the show. Outside of Doom World, you're not
It's actually one of the main reasons why I kind of started playing Doom again as well.
really going to find anyone who knows anything about Alien Vendetta, and YouTube is particularly devoted.
Wait, say that again?
Doom World, you're not really... Alien Vendetta was one of the main reasons why I started the show. Outside of Doom World, you're not really going to find anyone who knows anything about Alien Vendetta, and YouTube is particularly devoid of discussions related to non-vanilla Doom, so I set out to create a show that could sing the praises of special Doom WODs while giving potential new players a glimpse of what they're getting into. Alien Vendetta, I believe, is particularly deserving of this treatment. I don't do this often, but in this video I'm going to display the level designer of each map, because I want to spotlight the authors both for their prowess and for their distinct personalities. Now before we dive in, here's how...
Oh my god, now that I'm watching on PC, I can see the... What is it? The smart resampling. Oh my god.
the show works. We'll give each level...
Holy shit!
One for quality and one for difficulty. We grade quality from A to F and difficulty from X to E. X for extreme, E for easy, and A through D in between. A grade A level is fun, memorable, visually distinctive, creative, and a fair challenge. Lower grades indicate that the level lacks some or all of these qualities. Bear in mind that I'm not a Doom God, and these are just my opinions, so our definitions...
I guess this is before we start trying to make it funny.
...will surely differ. Disagreeing
The,
is fun.
the Doom God
First-timers
comments.
in the audience, here are the rules.
Oh, please tell me.
Play on ultraviolence, or in
Yeah!
this case, I'm a Doom God. Again, note that I'm not.
You know, I kind of forgot that this WOD changes the names of the difficulties. I'm not changing my thumbnails, I don't care. We all call it ultraviolence anyway.
We play each level from a pistol start. 3. In order to review the WOD, I must have played it at least twice. 4. Saves are allowed, but discouraged. And 5. I go for 100% kills in all levels, making certain exceptions in cases where it's just not worth it. I play on Z-Doom with compatibility settings on strict. Now,
Alright.
WOD. Map 1. Sunset. Alien Vendetta's opener turns the player on to its aesthetics immediately. Despite being really brown, the map's lighting is noticeably nuanced, and the shadows really bring out the twilight here. This map is short and easy, but don't expect that to be a...
Not that I'm... Not to sound like an asshole. I kind of like that you just let this fireball hit you.
And the shadows really bring out the twilight here. This map is short and easy, but don't expect that to be a trend. For right now, enjoy the gorgeous orange skybox and the secrets, which are quite creatively hidden. Sunset always gets me excited to play the rest of the Megawad. It's a really solid opener.
Yeah,
Grade
I agree.
B+. Difficulty D-. Map 2. Rusty Rage. This map can really smack around an unwary player, markedly stepping up the intensity. This is an Anders Johnson map. He worked on the plurality of Alien Vendetta's maps, and he's not one to show mercy. Try to sprint through the first hallway, and you'll find yourself weaponless and surrounded by a dozen shotgunners. You want that secret soul sphere? You'll be getting a visit from 16 chain gunners. Yellow key? Here's an arch file.
I didn't do that.
Rusty Ray
I didn't do that.
Beginner's Guide to Alien Vendetta. He teaches you to use your head, expect fierce retaliation for rewards, and to always give as good as you get. Grade B-. Difficulty C. Map 3, Cargo Depot. Cargo Depot is a good tech-based level with some fine detailing that plays a bit like one of TNT Evolution's early maps. The combat is nothing to write home about, but I love this secret cave with the yellow key and the waterfalls, the train tracks, and this neat cargo ship outside. Ammo is tight if you're dumb like me and forget you have Berserk, so you may have to punch a tomato or two on your way out. By AV standards, this level is essentially filler, but it's still a cut above vanilla in terms of lighting, layout, and texturing. Grade B-. Difficulty D. Map 4, Seclusion. The first thing you'll notice is the level starts you at the end of the train tunnel you went through on your way out of Cargo Depot. This little bit of continuity really adds to the immersion.
Yeah, I always like when maps do that.
Keep exploring. The second thing that you'll notice is the high enemy count. Nearly 300 monsters. Seclusion is reminiscent of Knee Deep in the Dead, as it's crawling with hit scanners, but equally shored up with Romero-esque secrets to prepare the player. It's a great feeling when the map throws whole courtyards and wall-to-wall hallways of monsters at you, because at this point, Alien Vendetta is trying to make you feel powerful. Don't worry, your comeuppance is imminent.
Oh boy, is it!
I'm a huge fan of the combat and the electronic soundtrack. Seclusion's a winner. Grade A-, difficulty C-. Map 5, Crimson Tide. Angsty and short, Crimson Tide seems to pay a lot more attention to its setting, a brown castle surrounded by a bloody sea, than its combat.
I didn't care for this map, honestly.
Mainly because it feels like a postponement of the action after Map 4. If you want 100% kills, I believe you have to jump into the blood, grab a rad suit, and kill this extremely out-of-the-way Pinky and Chain Gunner. That's unkind placement, if you ask me. Grade C+, difficulty D. Map 6, Hillside Siege. Get ready for the first big difficulty spike of Alien Vendetta. This level is indeed an uphill
This one was not bad.
as the opposition is more often than not in great numbers and are benefiting from better ground than you'll have. The long-range Macubi can be tough to deal with, and without the invulnerability / teleporters...
I don't know about tough to deal with. You just fired a bunch of rockets. How many rockets do you have? Tough to deal with.
The long-range Macubi can be tough to deal with, and without the invulnerability / teleporter / BFG secret, the cyber demon presiding over this demonic training ground is pretty much invincible. Infighting is your friend.
That's true.
A profligate Doom guy will definitely run out of ammo. I know what Hillside Siege is trying to do, but the fights are pretty painful and grindy, even when you're doing them right. And with the rise of the Triad music, it feels more like a hell-revealed homage than its own thing. In short, it's a miss. Grade C. Difficulty B-.
That's
Map
fair, I
7,
think.
Showdown. Dead pretty simple. This is a snack of a map from Anders Johnson, which only gets easier after you waste the Macubi at the start. Systematically eliminate the spiders, patrolling the outer walls of the castle, and hit 2 switches to exit. Showdown is no frills, fast, and fun.
Now that I noticed the smart resampling, I can't unsee it.
Not much more you can ask from a Map 7 and a classic Megawatt. Grade B. Difficulty.
Oh, Beast Island?
Map 8.
Beast Island!
Beast Island. The expansive and secret-rich Beast Island.
Wow, I missed that SSG.
Memorable levels. It marries solid action with a spirit of adventure, and the results are outstanding. Beast Island is home to some of the Megawad's most scenic views. You'll be traipsing through dark lit water.
I love this map. This map was
squeezing
really
between
good.
cliffs, and finally invading a massive island fortress, which you can actually see from afar earlier in the level. A very cool touch. I love this little sequence where you get to telefrag revenants on your way up this seaside cliff.
That I killed the hard way!
The fortress is a little claustrophobic compared to the rest of the level, and that fight with the cyber demon in the courtyard can get ugly if you let him cut off your access to the outside, where you can easily waste him with plasma. Most of the 9 secrets are tucked away in the fortress. Some of them are pretty tough to find.
Oh, that's how you get that!
Pistol start. The lighting in this level, especially the dark,
I was wondering.
is truly gorgeous, and the music is great. I'm a huge fan of Beast Island. This gets an A, with a difficulty of B-. Map 9, Castle Gardens. I really disliked this map the first time I played it, maybe because it seems so much more cramped and bland than Beast Island. Castle Gardens is gloomy and fairly packed with monsters. It's relatively short, but not that difficult. This is Kim Andre Malda's first contribution to the Megawatt. He's known for his strict attention to detail, lighting-wise, on full display in this brownstone library. You'll also notice how he loves his mobs of chain gunners. Castle Gardens hides secrets pretty carefully, and finding them will greatly improve your experience. In the text file, Malda writes that this was the first map he ever did for Doom 2.
Oh, wow.
Nice, great job. Nothing particularly stands
I didn't remember that.
Castle Gardens, and the combat gets a little draggy, but it's still solid work. B- with a difficulty of C-.
Okay, so I gotta say real quick. Currently, I'm filming this before I filmed the Thoughts video on Alien Vendetta, which will most likely come out before this. I need to look over the list of maps I put in. But currently, before doing my final once-over of the Hall of Fame Game Shame, Toxic Touch is still in the Hall of Fame. So I need to do one more look through and see if I can find something to change my mind. Otherwise, Toxic Touch will stay. I'm trying to think of a map I had more fun in than Toxic Touch, or had more of an impact on me than Toxic Touch. Because as much as I like Misery Halek, I don't think that's quite gonna make it. As fantastic as that map is. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. I'll think to myself on that one. This map is a masterpiece, though.
Map 10, Toxic Touch. In my opinion, and by popular consensus in the Doom community, Toxic Touch is one of the best maps ever made. Using 100% vanilla textures, Kim Andre Malda creates a striking and often beautiful environment. A direct continuation of Castle Gardens, Toxic Touch is intended to be the sewer system directly beneath Map 9's grounds. The color coordination and lighting are superb, and the music drips with atmosphere. When playing Toxic Touch, you get a prevailing sense of everything being in its right place. Every monster, every torch, every shadow fits into the overall construction. There's a flow to the combat that feels highly calibrated, even perfected. The level is overflowing with hit scanners. You'll be mowing down entire corridors of them, and Malda loves to surprise you with archfiles.
Why is the screen suddenly orange? What the fuck?
Slightly at a loss, mowing down entire corridors of them, and Malda loves to surprise you with archfiles.
And then it just wasn't interesting.
Slightly at a loss trying to describe what makes Toxic Touch so memorable, because it's really about the experience of being in the level when it's really quiet.
With the music. The music's the best part of this level, I think. Not necessarily, actually. Because the music wouldn't have the effect without the level, and the level wouldn't have the effect without the music. So I think it's a 50-50 there. This is one of the best sewer maps I've ever played, and it's going to be very hard to beat.
Toxic Touch is an unearthly quiescence.
Scared the shit out of me.
Focus, and its masterful construction has few peers in Doom mapping. Grade A+, difficulty B-. Map 11, Nemesis. Alien Vendetta is not a perfect megawatt. There's no such thing, of course.
True.
Every megawatt has to have that map, the one you dread playing.
Alright, let's have it.
Nemesis is that map for me.
Uh-oh.
A twisted, elephantine disaster area that is simply too big, too complicated, and too unwieldy to complete without getting frustrated. I will admit,
felt fine to me! I don't know what you're talking about!
to look at, but a map will lose my respect very quickly if it prioritizes spectacle over fun. Nemesis forces you to spend at least 2/3 of the map squeezing through cramped cave passages. With Doom's janky collision physics, this can get very frustrating and claustrophobic. You're either bouncing
That's
off
not
the walls
good, yeah.
or stuck where you're meant to pass right through, and meanwhile you'll be asked to do battle with Mancubi, chain gunners, revenants, and archviles all in close quarters. It's exhausting. The marble castle section is tolerable, except that it's needlessly difficult to get around, and of course you'll be hitting a bunch of critical switches that never give a clear indication of what they do at the time you press them. Hand to God, I still have no idea what exactly opens the exit, which is shoved into an obscure corner of the cave section, and you just wander into it and the level ends. I'm completely okay with non-linear maps.
I think it's that switch. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about.
For making progress, but Nemesis doesn't do that at all. My problem with this map is that even after playing it 5 times, I can't tell you what any of the keys do. It always feels like I play the level for 30 minutes and then it spontaneously kind of ends, which in my opinion is seriously defective design. Grade D-, difficulty B-.
Fair.
12, Entropy.
I disagree, but fair.
Entropy is your standard tech-based map and a good introduction to Brad Spencer, who designed this and 3 of the next 4 maps.
Oh, hey, Adam Windsor! I think I commented on the playthrough. Oh yeah, Adam Windsor. I love that I opened my playthroughs with initially torching Adam Windsor's maps, because they felt out of place in Requiem, and he's gone on to be, like, actually near the top of my favorites.
Compared to what's coming, this map is nothing. Although ammo can sometimes get a little spare, they give you a computer map, 11 secrets, and a berserk. By Alien Vendetta standards, that's practically coddling. After you enter the teleporter behind the blue door, you'll be faced with the best fight in the level. A swarm of hit scanners, Hell Knights, Barons, and Kakos teleporting into a mosh pit of fun. There's also a great secret that allows you to preempt a BS chain gunner ambush and also nabs you a BFG. Entropy is a fine grade B, difficulty C+. Map 13, Suicidal.
Oh, I love this map. This map's awesome.
Damn, this one is hard but fun. Probably my favorite tech-based map in the set. Brad Spencer's Suicidal Tendencies is the first map in Alien Vendetta with over 500 enemies.
I loved this hallway. Was awesome.
Swarms. There are several great set pieces here.
I'm gonna call that a death hallway. I love that death hallway, man.
Which deserve attention. Number 1, I love this warehouse room where you can unleash a wave of pinkies on the patrolling cyber demon and get him to kill them for you. Number 2, Mowing down this mob of imps that teleport in after you get the rocket launcher is a reward unto itself. Number 3,
Yeah.
this armory room full of shotgun shells and monsters is perfect BFG fodder. Number 4, it's tremendously entertaining to watch the spider masterminds in the outdoor area go to town on the chain gunners and barons. And number 5, the final assault against 9 archviles while you're invincible rides the razor's edge of nastiness and fun. Suicidal tendencies will absolutely burn a first-timer who doesn't care about secret hunting, but once you get your bearings, it becomes one of the most entertaining maps in Alien Vendetta. Grade A.
Yeah, it's really good.
A-. Map 14, Overwhelming Odds.
Oh, this is a good one too.
Okay, this one is really hard. After a ridiculous start that earns the level its name, you'll be up against yet another overrun tech base, this one containing over 600 monsters. There's not nearly as much health or ammo compared to suicidal tendencies, and the fights are a lot more, well, overwhelming. The Blue Key Room is a BFG fest that affords very limited mistakes. Taking on the Pinky Horde, followed by Cyber Demons, followed by 2 Cacodemon Clouds is a nail-biter. And that last room before the Red Key, with the army of imps and barons, while it might be infighting 101, is still pretty unforgiving. I think it's a lot more...
Well, you already pretty much start with your back to the wall in that fight, right? So you gotta immediately make space for yourself. And at 9% health, that's kind of rough.
Play this level than to play it yourself. The combat is gripping, but not great for your blood pressure. I like suicidal tendencies better, but more advanced players will definitely love this one. Grade A-. Difficulty A.
I guess I'm a more advanced player.
15, Bulls on Parade. Bulls on Parade is a welcome relief from the relentless abuse of the last 2 maps, much smaller and relatively easy. This is another tech-based map, but one sort of cracking at the seams. I like the hints of demonic influence encroaching on the architecture. I kind of hate this Revenant fight in this too open courtyard. It's easier to take hits from fireballs directed at other monsters than the ones that are actually tracking you. The final fight in this wooden arena is a real barn burner, ripe for monster infighting and a whole lot of circle strafing. Don't miss the secret exit, which you can find behind the wall across from the real exit. And just take a look at that secret exit room. The lighting, the colors, the architecture.
Big fan.
Wow. Bulls on Parade gets a B- with a difficulty of C+. Map 31, Killer Colors. You have to appreciate Killer Colors' commitment to the gimmick. In Alien Vendetta's first secret map, you'll traverse 3 color-coordinated realms, and when I say color-coordinated, I mean down to the enemy type, and the weapons you'll obtain. In the blue zone, you'll battle specters and cacodemons with your watering can. In the green zone, it's more specters, hell knights, and arachnotrons, and you get a BFG, and a super shotgun, which doesn't fit, but it doesn't matter. Finally, there's a room which grants you a rocket launcher and a swift-ass kicking. The standout...
Fuck this room, dude! This is the only room, I think, in Alien Vendetta. The only fight that, like, really made me angry. Stench of Evil made me pretty upset, but, like... I need to give Stench of Evil a second chance, I think, because I was in a bad mood when I played that. This fight just made me every kind of, like, angry.
It doesn't fit, but it doesn't matter. Finally, there's the red room, which grants you a rocket launcher and a swift-ass kicking. The standout fight here is the Revenant Cyber Demon deathmatch, for which you'll have just enough ammo, even if you cheat.
Where's the Cyber Demon? Show me the Cyber Demon! Oh my god, I killed him, that's right! Oh my god! I killed him! That's why I had a hard time in that fight, because I killed him!
There's also a great finale where they give you an invincibility. Get it? White is
That explains that.
to take on this ridiculousness. Killer Colors is clever, I'll give it that, but it's a lot more fixated on its own cleverness than it cares about giving the player a good time. Grade B, difficulty B+. Map 32, No Guts, No Glory. In this compact slaughter map, you take the bull by the horns...
This is another great map, but my only complaint is these starting archviles. I still stand by that they annoy the piss out of you.
Inspired by Hell Revealed's 20-second map, resistance is futile. No Guts, No Glory.
It's just not good placement.
Giving the player a hell of a rush without overstaying its welcome. Again, this is Anders Johnson's handiwork, and this time he pulls out all the stops. Strangely enough, this map 32 is not the hardest in the Megawatt, which isn't to say it's easy. Just wait till map 25. I will say the Archvile...
It's not that bad, it's not that hard.
Part of the map I dislike. I love the toe-to-toe Cyber Demon encounters in the second half of the map, and I don't even like fighting Cyber Demons, so that should tell you something. As secret maps go, this is one of my favorites. Grade A-, difficulty A.
I don't know about A-, that's a little high. I would have gone like B, maybe. C+ at the worst.
Map 16, Mutual Destruction. You might be thinking Brad Spencer has gone soft as you plow through the start of Mutual Destruction. Where are the flocks of cacodemons? How about the armies of revenants, pinkies, macubi? What's going on here? Turns out he was saving the best for last. Spencer softens you up with an ear-splitting mob of revenants that you'll barely have the ammo for, and then drops you into a cargo bay that springs...
You have 400 cells! What do you mean?
ear-splitting mob of revenants that you'll barely have the ammo for, and then drops you into a cargo bay that springs 6 cyber demons on you at once while you scramble for energy cell packs. You know it's a hard room and they give you invincibility, and it's still tricky as hell. You better hope you have enough health and ammo to deal with 2 cliff sides where revenants and Macubi platform your way to the final room, and try not to get picked off by 6 chain gunners. Spencer adds insult to injury by sicking a gang of pinkies on you to wrap up the map. I don't mind mutual destruction, but it's definitely more of a segue map than a main attraction.
It's a rest map. It's a rest point.
Map 17, Nuke Fall. Get ready for another Anders Johnson joint. Nuke Fall is short, and that's the only reason why it's not the hardest map yet. Right off the bat, you'll pass by a cyber demon standing on top of a BFG in a tiny room. Without that BFG, you have no chance of killing that cyber demon or beating the level. You'll need to go through hit scanner hell to obtain the red key.
Don't say that to me. I'm gonna try it.
Key, but don't even think about opening the red bars without getting the rocket launcher, which is naturally tucked away in a way of nuke it.
That's way easier to handle than the way I did it. Shit.
It's right next to Mr. Sivey Sive. Have fun taking him out.
So, let me finish this. So, when I did this in my first single... So, in my playthrough on YouTube, I kind of demolished him. I think I did it on, like, my second try or something, because I got lucky with Baron and fighting. When I played it in single player, that's about how this went. I died way more times when I played it, like, the first time before I recorded. Like, a month or so prior. So, don't worry. I did get my ass kicked by this cyber demon, just not on camera. If you don't believe me, you can ask. If you don't believe me, you can ask Mount Pain.
For this, you'll be dealing with 10 archviles at the exit. Hope you saved your ammo. Nuke Fall is pitiless, but it's still nowhere close to the cruelest that this wad can get. Footnote: I like the aesthetics, and the use of nukage, brownstone, and mossy green brick is very Alien Vendetta. Grade B with a difficulty of A. Map 18, Lake Poison. Lake Poison.
I'm absolutely nitpicking. I found a slight mistake here. Watch the map number really closely here when it fades in.
Grade B with a difficulty of A. Map 18.
You see that? You see that? There's a split second where there's no text. I'm nitpicking. It's fun.
Lake Poison.
It's not that big of a deal. I just thought it was funny.
Lake Poison is near peak Alien Vendetta content. An intense, intimidating map with a...
I didn't remember this map at all when I got to it in the playthrough. I didn't remember it from the Dean of Doom or anywhere else. And I love this map.
The atmosphere and impeccable architecture.
It takes a bit to get going, but I really liked it.
Anders Johnson Classic finds you in some kind of demonically corrupted slime facility. Unlike Spencer's tech bases, Lake Poison de-emphasizes hit scanners, but ups the ante on the higher HP monster types. You'll be up against nearly 300 imps, 8 archviles, 69 barons and hell knights, and 12 spider masterminds, the majority of which you'll meet in the jaw-dropping...
Sorry, I was slurping, sorry.
Monster types. You'll be up against nearly 300 imps, 8 archviles, 69 barons and hell knights, and 12 spider masterminds, the majority of which you'll meet in the jaw-dropping penultimate room. While I love the introduction to the level and the massive imp ambush in the drainage section, Johnson invests heavily in his level's semi-final round, and it really pays off. There are enough supplies and power-ups for you to throw caution to the winds and flex your muscles here. It's one of the most entertaining rooms in the entire WAD. I suspect Johnson could have made it much harder, but I'm really glad he didn't. This is one of my favorite levels in Alien Vendetta, and probably one of the first I'd point to as an exemplar of the Megawatt's signature mapping style and brand of combat. Grade A, difficulty.
This is a very nice map.
Map 19, Alien Resurrection. An extremely brown map that I always pictured as some kind of overrun archaeological dig site, Alien Resurrection isn't as densely populated as some of the recent maps, but packs a wallop. I think the map got its name from the high count of Martian-looking motherfuckers running around raiding their dead companions. There are only 7 archviles on the map, but it feels like a lot more, because author Madani El-Hariri has a nefarious imagination and enjoys spawning them into areas where you've just left piles of fresh corpses. I really like this fight with the arachnotrons that pop out of their display cases. The final assault, comprised of 2 archviles, a cyber, and a lot of resurrected monsters, will wreck you if you're dumb like me and waste your BFG shots. Alien Resurrection is fairly liberal with ammo, so you should be able to save up for the finale if you know what's coming. This is a fine map, and a stern one. Grade B. Difficulty.
It was okay. Misery Halak. Fantastic map.
Map 20. Misery Halek. The mother of all Egyptian levels. Doomworld.com's most memorable map of all time. The crown jewel of Alien Vendetta. Does it live up to the hype? The answer is yes. Misery Halek, which allegedly means Egyptian slaughter in Arabic, is one of the most painstakingly lit, immaculately detailed detailed Doom levels I've ever played. It's Kim Andre Malda's masterpiece, a hypnotic plunge into the long-forgotten halls of a pyramid and beyond. You'll have to contend with not only the tomb's traps, but its volcanic core and the stony, moonlit cliffside that it's carved into. The amount of contrast that Malda creates with minimal texture variety is very impressive. Not a single room feels like a copy of another. Malda wrote this in the text file. Eliminating the sky can easily result in extremely redundant design, thus it became hard to come up with innovative and varied architecture. The way to get around such a dilemma would be to use a lot of light effects and height differences, and I did.
And he did!
Halleck doesn't have any Hollywood fights to speak of, preferring to drip-feed you Revenants, Hell Knights, and Archviles around every corner, which keeps you pleasantly on your toes without getting overwhelming. The Cyber Demons on the stairs are nasty, but that's about the only fight that really makes me grit my teeth. All the way through, you'll be accompanied by the only original MIDI in the WAD, Chris Laverdur's Fight the Logic If You Can.
Still very good.
It's one of the best pairings of music and level design I've ever come across. All I have left to say is Misery Halleck is the best level I've ever gotten lost in. Lush, unforgettable.
I'm inclined to agree with that.
Grade A+. Difficulty B+. Map 21.
Alright, episode 3.
Caco's Nest. Would you look at that? 73 monsters, and this is map 21. Contrary to what you might think, One Flew Over the Caco's Nest doesn't compare to the craziness that makes up most of Alien Vendetta's fun. Caco's Nest gives you minimal health.
I don't get the reference, but...
Commit to berserk punching as much monster meat as possible, you'll be fine, if kind of bored. I have to confess that I find this map to be the ugliest in the whole WAD. It looks like the result of an artificial intelligence's effort at a hell map after mining Doomworld's archives for inspiration. All the ingredients are there, but the result is a confusing mishmash. I don't know, it just doesn't work. Gotta give it...
I made this AI play, it's like that meme. I made this AI play Thy Flesh Consumed for 10 hours and make a map, and this is the map.
It's one in D, with a difficulty of C. Map 22, Rubicon. Maybe it's because I played this exact brand...
What the fuck is a Rubicon?!
...hell level so many times, but Rubicon makes me yawn. As in the previous map, the monster count is quite low, and the fights get...
I know what a Rubicon is, I'm just making a joke.
...comparatively lame. I always have more trouble with these...
Oh yeah, I got the all ghosts in this map!
...Macubar than I do with the surprise...
I remember that.
...or the last pair of Archviles, and I'm not sure what that says about the map in general, but those Macubi sure are annoying. This is the lowest level in the WAD, and in my opinion, it's his weakest by a long shot. Grade C-, difficulty B. Map 23, Blood Sacrifice. Ugh, this one. Blood Sacrifice is Kim Andrea Malda's last entry, and my god is it brutal. If you aren't devout about using infighting, don't bother with the secrets, and otherwise muck around, Blood Sacrifice will make you pay. Malda doesn't give you any energy weapons outside of secrets, and also sticks you with 3 wickedly placed cyber demons. Running past them is not usually a good...
I didn't know this was Kim Andre Malda's map.
Yellow key. Letting him pin you is an instant death, unless you're a filthy save scummer like myself.
I don't know, I was able to sneak around him. I was really afraid I wasn't going to be able to, but I did.
A word about the architecture. It's awesome, of course. Malda's castle is brooding and austere, with an atmosphere as bleak as your chances of beating this level without finding the plasma gun. I don't like it as much as Toxic Touch or Misery Halleck, but Blood Sacrifice was apparently a labor of love for the author, and it shows.
Let me see. The area I've spent most time on cannot be any other than the castle. If my calculations are correct, I've spent more than 55 hours to complete that very part. Making a structure similar to this for Doom is what I call a pretty damn hard task to accomplish. This is not recommended to do at home. Just kidding. No, really, I mean it. Yeah. No, I bet.
All this work tends to grow on you the more time you spend with it, so I'm sure that the longer I play it, the more I'll like it. Grade B.
That's an opinion I'm kind of starting to agree with as well, as far as Blood Sacrifice goes. The more time passes, the more I think about that map, and the more I'm like, you know, maybe I gave it too hard of a time. Maybe it's better than I thought for like an ammo famine kind of tactical map.
A-. Map 24.
Now this map, on the other hand, can kind of go fuck itself. I don't really like it.
Clandestine Complex. Smack in the middle of Alien Vendetta's Hell episode is a short and dweeby tech-based level called Clandestine Complex. When Alien Vendetta was re-released for compet-end usage back in 2002, the authors replaced the original Map 24 with Clandestine Complex, moved the original Map 24 to the 25 slot, and removed the original Map 25, Valley of Echoes, which has 1,000 monsters and a dozen cyber demons in it. I'm happy to skip that one.
I wasn't! I fucking played it and I loved it! Get Clandestine Complex out of here, fucking move Demonic Hordes back! Put Valley of Echoes back! That's what I think.
Clandestine Complex is in the unfortunate position of having a backstory more interesting than it is. Szymanski and Soto's Hillside Siege was way harder, and is much closer to meeting the aesthetic standards of the rest of the WoD, which doesn't really say much for Clandestine Complex. Aside from the music, this one kind of falls on its face. If it were map 24 of TNT Evolution, Clandestine Complex would look a whole lot better. Grade, D+.
Damn. Yeah, in the original version, this MIDI was map 1. And I guess in the 2002 version, they gave map 1 a new MIDI and moved for that to this.
Difficulty C.
Let's talk about it.
25.
Yeah!
Words. This map. No, wait, I can't say that. I'm the Dean of Doom. I have integrity, supposedly. Okay, without profanity, this map is traumatic, devastating, exhausting. Hate is a strong word, but I really, really, really don't like it. 1,300 monsters.
1,600 in the original release, by the way.
36 revenants. 40...
They apparently took out some tedious monsters.
6 archviles. 17 cyber demons. It's the demonic hordes. I essentially grandma'd my way through this recording. My run was full of blunders, save scumming, and incompetence, and it took me over an hour, which sucks, but honestly it takes a hashtag DoomGod to do this in under 30 minutes. The world record is 20 minutes, UV max. That's a top-tier player, proverbially going balls to the wall, taking the better part of half an hour on a Doom level, and that's probably the furthest thing from fun that I can imagine. Okay, enough with the negativity. I happen to love the aesthetics of this map. This demonic chapel complete with a full congregation is great, and a couple of the secrets you have to break stained glass windows to open, which is genius. I even like some of the ambushes, especially the one by the yellow key, and the one that immediately follows it, with the 10 million archviles that resurrect everything you killed in the previous area. Yeah, that's painful. The music choice is spot on.
I just noticed that the mouth stretches. I've never noticed that.
Yeah, that's painful. The music choice is spot on, even if it's a little oppressive. It's a track called You Suck, the game over music from Rise of the Triad.
I love this song.
Yeah.
That was a max roll, dude. Let's see that again. That was a max damage missile. That's some bad luck. 1 in 8.
Yeah, I know I do. Ironically, I think the first big fight is the hardest because it's too claustrophobic to use rockets and you don't have a BFG yet.
I used to agree with this. It's the hardest if you don't use the teleporter. If things get a little bit frantic, use the teleporter, wait a couple seconds, and then go back out. You risk getting hit by a Cyber Demon rocket immediately, but that kind of takes the tension off quite a bit, and it gets a jump start on the fight in the dark hallway.
Now, if not for 2 available invulnerabilities, the final fight in this lava gorge with the Archviles, Cyber Demons, and Macubi would easily take the cake. Demonic Hordes...
I also agree.
My pay grade, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Grade, B+.
Legitimately, without those invulnerabilities, I don't know how you would do that. That's, like, ridiculous.
X. Map 26, Dark Dome. Dark Dome
Yeah,
is the most
map.
epic slugfest in Alien Vendetta. It's you against nearly 1,000
It's fine, but goddammit.
monsters in a massive cavern, and unlike in Demonic Hordes, most of them are there to greet you right from the start. If you just spent the last hour or so plowing through map 25 and don't know what you're getting into, the opening sight of Dark Dome might just break your spirit. Now, Dark Dome is definitely punishing, but it's more forgiving and a lot more fun to play than Demonic Hordes. I think it's because of...
I disagree, kind of. I think I'd rather play the slow burn feel of Demonic Hordes. Although this is... If you're playing for a friend who's never seen this before, this is, I think, the better map to play. But I think Demonic Hordes as an experience was better.
Everything on the table from the start. It gives you your mission objective straight up, rather than inundating you with room after room of teleport ambushes. That said, my favorite fight in this level is in fact a teleport ambush.
This is also my favorite fight.
With the blue key is one of my favorite BFG fights in the whole WoD. Anders Johnson really outdid himself with Dark Dome. The architecture is mighty intimidating, and the combat even more so. It's a solid A, with an X- for difficulty. Map 27, Stench of...
That's what I think of this map.
Evil. Yet another gut punch. Stench of Evil is massive and nihilistic. The 3rd map in a row with more than 800 enemies.
Fuck
Get
this
ready
level,
to bleed
dude.
profusely and witness some of the most foreboding hell-level design of all time. Again, courtesy of Anders Johnson.
Visually, I love this map. Playing it makes me want to vomit out of my asshole.
Help from Jan and Dre Jansen. Ammo deprivation will be your greatest nemesis in Stench of Evil, so be on the lookout for its 13 secrets. Lacking the brutality of Dark Dome or the ranks of Demonic Hordes, Stench of Evil still feels more exhausting than either of them, probably on account of its sheer square footage and also the music. It's one thing to listen to this track for 5 or 6 minutes in E1M5, and quite another to cope with it for well over half an hour here. As debilitating as Stench of Evil can get, I do appreciate...
Look, but by this point in the map that you're seeing, wasn't even... I forgot Suspense was even playing.
Appreciate the visuals, especially these blue caves, which I always think of as being carved out of a giant sapphire, and this aesthetic as hell in Fight Room.
I like this room a
This
lot.
wall of chain gunners near the end usually makes me chuckle, because it can hardly hit you, and 90% of them end up gunning each other down before you can get up close. I have to confess, this is one of my least favorite maps in Alien Vendetta, because I don't enjoy being crushed in the embrace of despair, and that's kind of how I feel when I...
So I mentioned I had Toxic Touch at my Hall of Fame, and I'm still thinking about what I was going to do with that. On the other side of things, I currently have Clandestine Complex in my Hall of Shame, and I'm debating swapping that out for Stench of Evil. I'm uncertain. You're already going to know if you watched the video before watching this, the thoughts video.
I play Stench of Evil. I'll have to give it a B because it's undoubtedly memorable, and it gets an X- for difficulty. Map 28, Whispering Shadows. Whispering Shadows is a gorgeous level that I absolutely hate. I think it's my second least favorite in the Megawad for 3 reasons. This Cyber Demon, and this Cyber Demon. The first one you can run past and blatantly...
You know what? No. I might put this map as my least favorite, because even Stench of Evil's growing on me as I think about it. This map I didn't really enjoy playing all that much. I think this map is going to take it.
Respect later, but it took me a while to figure that out. The second one you'll most likely have to chop down with a super shotgun if you want to progress, which is bland design, to put it kindly. And this one... Anders Johnson has a fixation with cyber demons in cramped spaces that I just don't understand. Oh, and there's Archviles too. Thanks a lot, man. The rest of the combat is puerile compared to what's come before.
The Archviles aren't shit, honestly. Like, if you just don't get too close to the switch.
They're frankly not that enjoyable aside from this Cacodemon attack, followed by this mob of revenants. Some of the secrets are flat out bad, like this soul sphere you can strafe jump to with great difficulty through this blood drippage. And this other one, I still don't know how / don't care to get that one.
I agree.
I don't care
That
about
sucks.
100% kills either, because sometimes, as you know,
It's just not worth it.
Footnote, this level does look great. Fine work, Anders. Grade D.
Yeah, visually it looks fine. Playing it, this map makes me want to vomit out of my ass, actually.
Okay, map 29.
Now this was a good map.
Walk with me. I love this level's name almost enough to forgive Anders Johnson for this apocalyptic revenant attack, which is just the worst thing ever. Outside
Ah! You scared the shit out of me, dude. Oh my god. Dude, oh, motherfucker. I'm yelling at you on Discord about that. Dude, what the fuck? I actually jumped. This is why I don't play horror games, man. You asshole. I love this fight. I don't know, man. I really liked it.
PTSD-inducing episode, Firewalk with Me, is considerably easier than most of Alien Vendetta's final act. Map 27 probably would have been more appropriate as a penultimate level, but part of me feels like the player deserves a break at this point. But don't worry, there's still plenty of point-blank cyber demons to curse the existences of. I actually really like...
You ran right into his ass. You're in front of him, but you ran right into him.
The part where you climb into the jaws of this dead creature and face the wad's chumpiest monster closet in his innards. Just look at that. How is it that this army of revenants and this shrimpy ambush are in the same level? And why are there torches in this big demon's intestines? You know what? I don't even care anymore. The exhaustion is fully kicking in at this point. I love this hill full of spazzy chain gunners who will again mostly...
Yeah, I think I even remember, like, commenting on that Revenant ambush, and then getting to that little closet. It's just like, yeah, I think Alien Vendetta is starting to run out of steam.
Kill themselves, and the hanging imps silhouetted in the distance. It's an awesome visual. Save some cells for on your way out, when Anders surprises you with a swinging door and one last cyber demon in your f***ing face. Yay. Grade B-, difficulty A-. And map 30, Point Dreadful. I'll give Point Dreadful this. Its opening room looks phenomenal. The rest, well, it's an icon of sin map. That is, worthy of being save scum to death. The idea here is that you hit a switch at the top of a hill, hop on an invisible elevator, fire a rocket into the icon's brain, climb back up the hill on some finicky lifts, and repeat 2 more times.
This first lift sucks. It's my only complaint about this map.
The bottom lift is the hardest to catch. Even if you're strafe running, it will start rising right as you catch it. Point Dreadful is a perfunctory conclusion to a superior megawad. I blame Doom 2 for inventing the icon of sin, and salute Anders Johnson for trying to make an inherently flawed concept work. Grade C-, difficulty B.
Oh, did you get it? Oh, okay.
So, Alien Vendetta is a beast. Though it initially
Island.
seemed to pattern itself after Hell revealed in the Plutonia experiment, it effortlessly outpaces those 2 wads in terms of creativity, visual appeal, action, and fun. It's like a pilgrimage every time I replay it, ending in a baptism of fire that's as intense as anything in all Doom. It's a world unto
Yeah,
itself. It
I
has
agree.
atmosphere and energy to burn, and as we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of its release, I'd say it is with
Yeah, we are!
time. My final grade for this...
When did it come out again? It came out in 2000... What? No, actually, yeah. It came out in 2001, so we're past that.
absolute
Yeah.
classic is an A, which I'll save you the suspense. That's as good a grade that a megawatt made before
That's the same grade I'm giving it, actually. It's also going in the A on my tier list.
2015 is going to get on this channel. As for difficulty, I'm grading it an A+, meaning it'll make all but the most vaunted Doom
I know this got re-rated to A-.
deities sweat profusely.
I think.
Here's my dean's list. The valedictorian.
It's Misery Halak, I already know.
Map 20, Misery Halak. Salutatorian, Map 10, Toxic Touch. Class President, Map 25, Demonic Hordes. And the dunce cap goes to Map 11. I gotta. I sometimes bring out the honor roll for...
You gotta! My ass, you gotta! Map 11 was fine. We're gonna fucking dunce him out and dunce map 28.
special wads, and this one definitely deserves it. Shout out to Map 8, Beast Island. Map
Fair.
13, Suicidal Tendencies.
Fair.
Map 32, No Guts, No Glory.
Fair.
Map 18, Lake Poison. And
Fair.
Map 26, Dark Dome.
Fair.
Thank you very much for watching.
You're welcome.
Please feel free to share your thoughts on the wad in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think about this one especially. This is Mount Pain 27, and I'll see you in the next episode of Dean and Doom.
Yeah, I got some thoughts here. I got you. Hold up. Deluxe. Comment. Yeah, there it is. We got a notification. I won't click on it. Dude! Fantastic wad! Fantastic wad. Definitely getting an A from me. Definitely at the tip-top of the list. Well! That ends my my mini series on Alien Vendetta, I guess. 2002 Doom Odyssey, boys. Alright. Peace, boys.